Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Deidre Elize. If you're new here, if you're not, again, welcome back. So today I wanted to tell you guys how I got into the Nicu as pretty much a new grad nurse with only an associate's degree. So if you are interested in watching this video, please stay tuned and don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe. So I felt like I was gonna have questions about this, basically how to get into the NICU, because a lot of people want to work in the NICU and kind of aren't able to. So, or they have a lot of no's before they get a yes. So I just want to tell my story a little bit about getting into the NICU. So honestly, I had applied a couple months ago, really at like my 2 months, because 2 months of being a nurse, 2-3 months pretty much. And I was thinking about moving. I was tired of being in an adult specialty and I was thinking about moving. And I ended up interviewing for the same exact position that I'm in. And I got the job actually, but then I ended up turning it down because the pay wasn't matching with my current job. And you know, for a while I thought about that. I was like, oh my gosh, I was so torn because it was in a specialty that I wanted to be in, but the pay was not enough to basically sustain my living that I'm already used to. So I ended up declining the job. 3 months later, I apply again for the same exact position. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I don't know if they're gonna be like, you know, you denied us last time, even though I denied it, like, you know, with thank yous and a good note and all of that good stuff. I denied it. But no, I ended up getting the job. On my interview, like within my interview, I was offered the position again, and I received my offer letter and everything, and I was accepted. So now I'm working in the NICU. So I will say that I did apply to a lot of jobs, a lot of different things in the pediatric specialty. I applied to L&D, I applied to PICU, I applied to general pediatrics, women's specialties, and I was denied from every last one of them. Every last one of them, in a lot of other places, a lot of different cities, because honestly, I was just wanting to move and I didn't care where I was moving. I was just trying to go. But yeah, so I was denied and I got a lot of no's before I got a yes. So that's one thing that you guys need to know. If you really want to be in a pediatric specialty, or you really want to be a NICU nurse, or you want to be an L&D or mother baby or whatever that you want to be, an ICU, ER, that too, just keep applying. Honestly, keep applying. Email, reach out if you have a contact, and see, you know, what is going on, why you're not being chosen. That can help too. But also the main thing is just to keep applying. Keep applying. Before you get a yes, you're probably gonna get some no's, but eventually you will get that yes and you will get in, just like I did. Another part I want to say, of just to branch off of what I said about keep applying, in your application, your resume needs to be, I would say, great. Like, if you have to have someone do your resume, if you have a friend that does great resumes and they can do it, or you can look online. Sorry. Bless you. Or you can look online and basically have someone do your resume, or like a system do your resume. I've tried that too, and that's a good way to do it. What I like to do on my resume is basically look at my job description of my current job or previous jobs that I've had, and I literally copy and paste it, add bullet points to each like duty and what I do and what I bring, because you are going to be doing all of that and more in your job, or you probably already are doing all of that and more in your job. So you basically just add that. And I've always gotten compliments on my resume when I was in nursing school, and then also when I go into interviews, I get a lot of compliments on my resume. And all I do is use a Microsoft Word template, and I copy the job description with the job title from the position that I was in. And I also add, you know, the company, and sometimes I'll add like the city that it was in if it's been in different cities, because as you guys know, I've lived in like 3 different cities within the past 10 years or so. So I add all of that. What I've also started doing is taking off jobs that don't apply to the job that I'm trying to get. So in this case, I like to only keep my nursing related experience on there. Sometimes I'll keep like one customer service job just to show, because customer service has a lot to do with nursing. And if you're a new nurse or you have limited experience, they like to see that you know how to communicate with people and you work with people before. So that's a good thing. I also have a cover letter with my resume that basically goes over my skills, it goes over my education, it goes over my role, different systems I work with, stuff like that. And I put it all together with my contact information, all that good stuff. And I've literally had interviewers literally look at my resume and say, I didn't even really need your work experience or your education or that second page that I have, because everything they needed to see was in my first page. So, I do recommend that. And like I said, you can use a Microsoft Word template and it would literally work just as well as someone doing your resume. And, because they just want to know, do you have the experience? Do you have the required education? Do you have the things that basically they're listing in their job posting? Anyway, so, yeah. So that's the whole application process. Once I went to go in with the interview, it was a virtual interview, but I have had interviews that have been in person. So you have to be prepared for that. If you're going in person, you're gonna need multiple copies of the resume. If you're virtual, you won't need that because most likely you already have it. Sometimes in person they have it too, but just in case. And then during the interview, if you have limited experience or you're a new nurse like I am, then what you want to do is basically what you want to do is when they ask questions, play yourself up. Seem confident, act like you know what you're talking about. I've never worked with kids. I've never worked in the ICU. I worked in step down, as I say all the time. So a lot of things are different. Yes, I have nursing experience. So sometimes I will literally know what they're talking about, but I may not know, specifics, And trust me, if they see that you work in a different specialty or that you are a new nurse, they know that you don't know that. So don't, it's okay to say sometimes that you don't know, but also try to give something. That's what you need to do. And especially scenario questions, give something. Don't just leave them with nothing, because then they'll be like, she's not even trying, or he's not even trying, whatever. And yeah, so that's interview tip. Also, you need to seem passionate about working with kids. If you're going to work with kids, you should be passionate, so it's not really seeming passionate, but you need to be able to display that. You need to have I'd say a warm personality, or you need to be kind of bubbly, kind of smiling, being friendly. You need to do those kind of things so that they feel like, okay, this is a person that I feel like families would trust around their kids or whatever. I also feel like you need to be open to days or nights, because if you're not open to nights or you're not open to days, it's gonna kind of limit you in where they can put you, because they may only be looking for a certain shift. And let's say you really want the job, eventually you can just switch over. So just be open to different shifts and, basically display how flexible you are, whatever. If you've done a nursing interview, they're kind of all the same. Yes, if they feel like, or you've said you have experience in a pediatric specialty or whatever specialty you're trying to go into, they're going to ask you questions about that. But generally, they're going to ask you general nurse questions. Stuff they feel like, okay, is she a safe nurse? Does she know how to find resources if she does not know something? Does she know how to reach out to her leaders, like her charge nurse, her manager, director, whatever? And they also are trying to see if you're going to be a good fit. So act like, be a team player, whatever, be friendly, smile, all that good stuff. Don't seem closed off in your interview. This is general nurse things that they're going to ask you. So yeah, another thing with working in the NICU, or if you want to be in a specialty, I would say probably be open to relocating if you are able to, because sometimes the area that you are in, There may only be one NICU. There may only be one labor and delivery, stuff like that. So sometimes you do have to be open into commuting, you know, what's your commute or having a longer commute, whatever, to get to your job. Also be open to relocating. That's what I had to do in order to get into the specialty that I really wanted to. And if you don't have the means to do that, whether it be financially or whatever, then try to get those, because I also had to do that too. I had to basically prepare myself to be able to move before I was ready to apply. And you know, by the time I applied, I already had my mindset, I'm moving and I'm already gonna have the money for it. I'm already gonna be ready for it, that kind of thing. So be prepared for that. Whether, like I said, it's financially, getting yourself together, getting your family prepared, that kind of stuff. Because once you get the job, they're gonna be ready for you to move, relocate, come do, you know, your drug test and all of that good stuff. They're gonna be ready for you to do something almost like immediately once you sign like your offer letter and all of that good stuff and you agree to the terms. You know, they're gonna be ready for you to get on the ball and get moving pretty much. So like I said, you need to be prepared and display to them that you are prepared. Don't display like in your interview or application, whatever, like, oh, I'm gonna need time for this, I'm gonna need extended time for that, and blah, blah, blah. Once you sign your offer letter, then okay, maybe, you know, tell them whatever. But if you can, try to avoid that. What I also wanna say is that the positions are available for new grads. They're also available for nurses with limited experience, certain nurses who've never been in a pediatric specialty. So don't think you're locked out. The stuff, it's available, okay? Like the group that I'm on orientation, there's one nurse who's a brand new nurse out of nursing school. There are nurses who have never worked in the NICU. There's also nurses who have only worked with adults like me. And then as like me, I have limited experience. I haven't been a nurse for a year or longer, which a lot of companies and units will look for. So, like I said, just be open, display how much you really want the job, and keep applying, pretty much. I also would say it's probably good to have some type of certifications. Like, right before I started applying for these jobs, I ended up updating my BLS because that was about to expire. They're gonna wanna see that it's up to date and not gonna expire like within a month. They're also going to probably want to see some type of, like I have my ACLs, like I said, which is Advanced Cardiac Life Support for those who don't know. They will pay for some certifications, but some things they feel like are baseline. And like a lot of times for them, especially in the NICU that I'm in, since I'm in the level 3, which is in Florida, they don't recognize a level 4. So level 3 is pretty much level 4 here. It's the highest level. They appreciate that. So like my job is gonna pay for my NRP. They're also gonna give me some NICU core classes that are gonna help me be a better nurse and a better NICU nurse than me just coming in with BLS and ACLS. They also know that nursing schools do not teach neonatology, most of them anyway. So they know that a lot of people are gonna come into the unit with basically like no knowledge if they have never worked in a NICU. So that's why they have those classes to help you and to act as a resource. So you don't have to worry about those things if that's stopping you from trying to do it. So yeah, right now that's all I can really think of to tell you guys is just apply, make sure your resume is up to date, display your personality in the interview. Also, play up your experiences, show off your personality. All of that good stuff helps you get the job. If they like you, honestly, you don't even need to know that much. They will let you in. That's all I can say. And just know that you're gonna get a lot of no's before you get a yes, most likely. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment them and I will respond to you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video.